Right, you lovely tubers, we'll just start off by, we're going to loosen the wheels off. So it's about 12mm on here for the front wheel, and it's 5/8 to loosen the bolt there. So just start off, just loosen them off. We take the wheels off. We'll have to lift the front wheel a little bit, but just doing this to start them off. So that's the first ones. Let's go to the back. And on the back, it's a 27-inch. Either you can use a ratchet socket, or you can, like I've got here, just use a big adapter there. So it don't take long to take them off. Now, a little thing you can do, make life easy. Sometimes, don't do it all the time, depends what mood I'm in. I'm just gonna clean around here, just get the grease off. Now, what you've got your adjusters here to take off your wheel. Now, we all know who do motorbikes and who do your own repairs on them and do everything else, they're a pain in the arse to get back on. So, little trick, a bit of electrical tape, put a bit of electrical tape onto there and onto there. Okay, keeping it on. And what that'll do, that'll just keep that in place. And that's all I do. I just put a little bit around there and around there. So when I put the wheel back on, now remember how you take the nuts and bolts off as well. Just leave them on top of each other. And that makes life easier. Just tap it out. A little bit of weight on the wheel. Should, as he says. The other way is to put a block underneath it. It's the other thing you can do. Just get a piece of wood, block under the wheel, just take it out that way. Got to release the chain on it, and then the back wheel should just slide out. You've got your bush there. Now remember as well, when you take these bikes to do the tyres, leave your bushes at home. Leave them here and check any other bushes or anything else like there. Leave them here, because if you take them and you put them in your car or you put them wherever, right, and you forget about them, they're going to come out. And when, right, so that is now the back wheel off. Now the front wheel, you need to lift the front wheel a little bit because it's still firmly planted. So I'm quite lucky. Got a piece of wood on top of it. Now they do charge you a lot more if you decide to take the bike straight in, it's about 120 quid. These are 40 or 50 quid. And there we go. That's enough. That's all I need to get that out. So again now, wheel on it. Just undo it. It really doesn't take long to do this. And these are a massive difference to the other ones. The other side you can do, as you can see now, cleaned up and greased up and put back in. And I can also get at all the brakes, so put my bushes the right way up. And there's my tyres, there's my wheels up, people. Now the next time you see me, these will have new tyres on them. Right, hello tubers, we're back. That quick spell, and there they are. The new Pirellis are on there. Metzlers, sorry, Pirellis. So they're on there. So now my next thing is, before I even fit them, is to do my brakes. So that's our next task. Undo the brakes. Start off when you're doing your brakes. Undo your reservoir at the top there. So when you're squeezing the pistons out, you're not going to cause any damage, and put plenty of cloths underneath so that you don't get brake fluid on your bike, because if you get brake fluid on your paintwork, on your plastics, you're done for. You know, it really does, it's corrosive, it's really corrosive. Right, we'll come back to you. Right, you lovely tubers. Right, so we're changing the brakes. We've got the new wheels. Just going to clean them off first of all, and I will show you as we get them off. Right, so, and this is the thing about maintaining stuff. There we go. So it's got Loctite on that. So that's my pin. So we might as well just undo that right the way out. That is really stiff. That is really stiff on there. So this is a thing, it's not hard to do, your brakes are not hard to do, but save you a lot of money learning to do them yourself, to be honest. You can hear now the squeakiness of them. You know, these are what your life depends upon. Right, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to undo it again. Be interesting how mechanics do that. They just, a lot of them probably won't even take these off, to be honest. When you're in the workshop, I bet the mechanics in the workshops don't even take the caliper off. They'll just undo that pin and drop the take the pin out, clean up the pin and put the new pads in. But what I want to do is I want to look at what state my pistons are in. You know. Right, so that is definitely a lot stiffer. You can hear it. Wow. That should see the state of them there. I've never known. Let me know if you've had it before with your pads being this stiff. I've had them when you get like me, the likes of me Bergen, where they've been stood for a long time, but not one that's been, not a bike that's been ridden on a daily basis. I've had this. It's quite poor. So that is that don't want to go anywhere. You know, not for. This has only got just short of 8,000 miles on it. So that's it out. Let's see the state of this. That is really stiff, people. That is really, really stiff. So that comes out there, and then it'll drop the pads off. And the pads, as you can see on that side, quite thin. On the back side there, I mean, there's still life in them pads. You know, there'll be loads of mechanics out there going like there is. There's a good probably 2,000–3,000 miles left in them pads, but they're quite disappointed. Let's just get the other ones and show you. You can see they're double the thickness. And I don't know what pads have actually put, their original Honda pads. The ones that they're being replaced with are FA196HH, which are double HTMs, tinted pads. They're very strong, these pads. They're very long lasting. Right, so that's the worst bit now. I'm quite disappointed with that. I am quite disappointed with that. Look how rusty they are. Oh, hang on, are they brass? Oh no, it's no. Let's just see. As I say, they are, for me, quite poor. Look how the so we need to, before we do anything, we need to clean up the anti-squeal shim there. Like I say, for something that's 6 months old, I wouldn't expect. That's well pitted. Let me know if you've had it before on your bikes, because that to me is just poor quality. That is just poor quality, and I don't want to. I mean, that's where they've come out to. So we're going back in easy enough. Now I have got a little set of tools I use for just pushing them back in. And yeah, I think, right people, we definitely need to give this a good clean up. Now, a little bit of a tip for your pins that have corroded like that, just put them in the end of your drill, spin them round. Undo that now. We'll put a tiny bit of copper slip on there. And literally a tiny amount. And that in future, when you come to pull it out, will definitely help it. They're not normally this hard to do, to be honest. There's a little pin that they sit under to sit in like that, and that it's just been a pain. There we go. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. So that will push down because it's like spoon loaded. pin then should just, once you've got it in, pin should just go down. It should push through quite smoothly, that pin. You shouldn't need to make sure you've got these in properly. That I know. Isn't plain. And there she is. Right, so she's got a bit of copper on there now. Tighten them up. And that is new pads in it. Just tighten them up. Put it back on. Don't cross thread it. And because it's had that little bit of copper slip on it, it just makes it that much easier to put it in second time round. Make sure your caliper is on straight as well, not at an angle. Make sure it's flat up on the back. Right, so that is so we'll just put them all on that first and then we'll torque them up afterwards. So, and to be honest, on the calipers, you really limited on how tight you can pull them. You know when they're getting tight on these. It can only go in one way round because it has got a disc on it. Now the other thing that you can do with discs is a piece of very fine sandpaper and just rub over it. Won't do it in the arm. You can get it both sides, it's better. Just give it a... This paper is not going to take any of the metal off really. You can see it's just dirt that's built up on it. And then a bit of brake cleaner. And just wipe it off. And that's what's coming off it, you know. You can see, if you look really carefully at the discs, there's little spots, little pitted spots in them, and that's that's what I say. If you use a bit of the sandpaper, not heavy, this is like, there we go. This is 800s, and this is probably too strong, to be honest. Something like 1000s or 2000s on it. Just give it a rub round. As I say, this is all preference. It's down to some people that won't ever do that. They won't ever bother, and that's your choice. That is what I do. Clean the inside of the forks while we're in there. See what you can see inside there. So we now got to get that in between that hole there, and this is where the fight begins. Normally if they're open, no problem at all, you can get them in, but if the pads move like they've just done, they then become difficult to actually get in. it's just the inside one that's getting me. Once you've got that in like that, you've got hope, people, you've got hope. Now, is that bit done? Now, let's go on to, so we've got it inside the and it's like this, it's always worth doing this. It's always worth re-greasing all your pieces on the bike, and whatever grease you want to use. People use different ones. I like Koppenick. I've just always used it. Don't know whether it's the best in the world or whether it's the worst in the world, but it's always worked for me, to be quite honest. No. It's great. And you know, when you know you're there, oh, it's so happy. The feeling. And these bikes as well, a lot of the old bikes are different things with a bolt on either side. Like the back wheel has got a bolt on either side. These are countersunk. And you might just have to just give it a tap, but you can see it going in now. So these fasten in this way, really good idea. And again, need to torque that up, but that goes in. And again, this is a pincher bolt. This is what stops that bolt coming out. Now, some people will put Loctite on it. If you torque them up, there's no reason why they will come out whatsoever. But the bit of copper slip on it, just without doubt, just that's a 10mm on there. Is it a 12? It's a 12mm on it, so it's the same as the everyone thinks it's fabulous. I'm just gonna give that a clean off. Use some tissue. You can see even, you know, dries off quite quickly as well. Do it on the back. Oh, youth, people, youth. Getting up and down when you get old gets harder. So let's just now I can actually feel straight away. Brakes feel better, and that's just stood still. Right, doing videos now. I did like these, you know. The nice little blue. Now they are colour coded, and I didn't realise this. They are colour coded for a reason. What type of disc they are. And let's just see what size pins they are. They're small. This has got a handbrake on it. Now this is the other side that people don't do and they forget. Let's just take you down here. I forgot all about this. See underneath there, them bottom pads, them there are for the handbrake on the on your handlebars. Now people forget them, and I've done it many times, and the thing with them, they do seize up, and they're renowned for seizing up because you don't often use it. And Can we get away with that? And there it is. So it just slides on. Right, let's just put you back up there, because you're having as much fun as I am doing this, I can tell you. Let's just see. Now I can feel straight away this back pin on this is just so much better, and it still looks a little bit corroded. It still looks a bit, but you see, I can turn it with my hands. The other one, there's no chance. So let's pull that out. Again, sprung loaded. There it goes again. That one again is, let's just put that back up there where that goes. And let's take the pads. See, the pads on the back don't look anywhere near as bad. Show you. Let's just spin that round a little bit. Get some light in there for you. I hope the camera can see this. So you can see the pads. I'm not even going to take these ones out because they don't need it. They really, people, don't need it. I'm not going to waste. The pads are still like brand new on that. So even though I use that back brake a lot, them pads on that back brake are much better. Now let's just see what the piston's like. Quite disappointed with Honda. You know, these used to be really nice, good chrome bits of metal that didn't corrode like this. And I think that's quite poor. You know, I can semi understand why we complain about the brakes on the NC. I can, you know, it's not as the back one's nowhere near as bad as the front, but you can see the back one's not had the actual hasn't been drawn down as much as the front one. So let's just take you around it so you can see better in there like that. Do this for use. Putting myself out just for use. It's just how good I am. And there's loads of people that do this. So I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm putting them original pads back in. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Sorry about this. My tripod is actually too tall for here. I haven't got one short enough. You wouldn't think that, would you? Too short tripods. So, brake cleaner, really good, because it evaporates very quickly as well. Gets rid of a lot of dust, a lot of pad dust. And that's what it's really designed to do. So my next thing now, I'm sorry, but you're in the way. You're just in the way. You're just getting in the way, people. You'll have to sit there. You just have to live with it there. You know, complain if you want. And just clean these pads off, because there'll be brake dust on these. Right, so the next thing is, as well, you really want to clean that pin off a bit. Hardly any corrosion on this pin, to be honest. So again, just put a bit of copper nick on it. I'll just help it go in easier. Again, the back of the pads, you can see the back. I'm just going to put a bit of copper nick on there. And like I say, I'm saying this, it's your choice whether you want to do this or whether you don't. People have different ways. That's what I do. Just don't put it on the front of it, just always on the back here, don't get anywhere else. And make sure your hands are clean when you put them back in, because brakes with grease on them are no good to you. I can 100% verify that, and I think any mechanic can do the same. Right, so let's just take this off again. Again, no, so that's that way up. The back one, to be honest, this is a bit more of a pain than the front one. Drops in there, and that drops in there. And that drops in there. And again, you know, the front of this has been done with an Allen key, and the back has been done with a 10mm bolt. You know, Honda put these 10mm bolts on these 9mm bolts on the back. This is so much better. I'll give it a clean up, check it's all right. Now this has just come out of service from Honda, so there's absolutely no reason why this shouldn't be bang on. Put my spacers in. Where your spacers are, and these, don't spray any cleaner inside them. Just clean them out with a rag. Don't use brake fluid anywhere near them bearings inside. You'll just create yourself a world of fun by doing that. Right, so let's just, this is the best bit, is getting this bugger in here. It's a big back wheel, this. really. I do hate the back wheel because number plates get in the way. Yeah, wheels trying to go in at an angle. They're just a pain in the backside. And I'll tell you what's not helping me, and I know straight away, people, why it's doing it, is because the front of the bike is up in the air. What a donkey. That's only what you get with experience. You learn when you become a donkey. Come on, come on. Get in there. Stop being unhelpful, unkind. Just do what you're meant to do. Ride on the road. Make me happy. Oh, here we go. That's. It's great when people just sit there watching it and they go, "Oh, you're doing that wrong there. You're doing that wrong." And I'd love to see them actually doing it, actually sitting here and doing this for people to watch, because they're like backstreet riders, aren't they? This is it. You know, if you want to go doing, if you want to start going doing this, and it's like when you're out on enduro and changing your tyres and on the side of the road, do you really want to be doing this? You know, even at 20 and 30, you just don't want to be doing it. This doesn't want to play, people. And don't, you see loads of people smashing these in. Don't be smashing them in. You know, a light hammer, yeah, but make sure you're lined up, because they should slide in. Should slide in just by tapping it like that. And we're through. On your bikes, you've got markers here, so you need to, can you see there as well on the NC, that green, red and silver, it's telling you the state what it's in. So we're in the middle of the green. So again on the other side, so and that's about bang on, people. So double check, have a listen to your chain when you spin it round. Does it sound? That's spot on. 3/4 of an inch. And there we have it, people. An NC750 DCT. New front brakes. Doesn't need new back brakes. take that off now. There we go. Ready to be ridden. With new traction, new front brakes, and OAP riding it. Oh, people. Now I just need to clean it up and get riding on it, and I need to do these little bits actually. So thanks for watching Birchwood Biker. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next one.